Welcome to the Roy Anthony and every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out?
Welcome to the Roy Anthony and every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's where we can kick every Tuesday.
Everything is going
every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, the Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Tuesday.
It's through the week, homie. The Roy
Every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a
Tap in
before we got.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Once again, this is Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show podcast. Along with my co-stars, they be popping in unless they have situations that's going on, because you know we treat it like it's a cafe meeting. You know, we having a conversation. So my co-stars, Miss Cynthia Joy Towner, Mr. Big Hank Norman. Now I know that Big Hank, you know, Tuesday he was leaving out of town. Well, I think he was leaving Wednesday morning. He was going to be gone for the weekend. I don't know if he's going to be popping up. Cynthia Joy has been going through surgery, and she had lost her family member, her brother. And so we want to offer our prayers to both. And then we coming live from the WO platform, which was created by veterans of the United States of America. And one of the people in charge, Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, along with the co-creator Goose. Then we have our associate producers, Blue Phoenix. She's a blessing right there in disguise. Just whip that cancer up, you feel me? My man Ethan Daly. Then we have our good neighbors, the BV Nations. That's the Backwood Veterans based out of Oregon, BV Nation. And stuff. We got my band Carl Loomis, J Dubs, some of the other fellas and stuff. Then we have our the Long Beach All Stars, which is Long Beach, Linwood, Compton, Parcel Watts, that come together, veterans, non-veterans. We all working for the same goal. Then we got the WO platform family itself, all around the country, all around the US and different countries. Then our own personal family, friends, associates, and those who don't like us, you know. Welcome to the show. I was celebrating. I gotta put on some music for this. I gotta put on some music for my man. Let me put on some yeah, coming to the stage. He's been on 24 days of sobriety. My man Just Me said, hey y'all, 24 days. That's right, bro. That's worth celebrating. 24 days. Celebrating you, Just Me. You feel me? For real. And so thought I'd give him that. 24 days, we celebrating that. Some people is in a state of denial about some of the problems that they having, and they don't want to come correct. I'm a congratulator. Never been a hater. I'm a congratulator. You know, as everybody know that, you know, he said, thank you. For real, man, it's a celebration. He lucky I ain't around him and stuff. We be partying up and down for real and stuff. Now I can't have a drink with him. Like, that ain't fun. That ain't right. I tell people, if somebody, I done seen partners who went and got dry off of drug addiction and come around the homies and they trying to offer him a blunt. Come on, man. Show support. Got love for you, just me. Um, Today is September the 5th, 2024. And the the wrapping up of, I think we got 60 more days while we're going to the vote for the presidency. But I was saying something Tuesday that it stuck in me because this is what I've been actually doing. I'm not a person who talk about. I'm like the Migos. I walk it like I talk it. You can ask anybody. My word is my bond. If I say I'm gonna do something, I am breaking my neck to make sure it gets done. Like on my calendar, I've got it set. I'm going to Oregon. I'm going to go visit Carl Loomis and Miss Caitlin. I've made up in my mind. It's been 2 years now and two different chances. I said I got to do this. Um, I'm a person. I'm a man of my word. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a free American. I am going to use my vote, but I sit back and I look and I pay attention because no matter who the president is, I got to survive. And then when I look at that, I'm like, wow, we put so much concentration on the president. We need to pay attention to our city councilmen, the aldermen, to the mayor, to the senators, governors of your state. He said, you can drink around me. It doesn't matter. It's not like it's going to make me want to drink. It's my decision to quit. You didn't make that decision. Yeah, but I still wouldn't drink around you, though. You know what I'm saying? Out of respect. And that's the thing. Sometimes I would feel like that's a selfish thing. I'm going to come around you and drink, even though I know you ain't drinking. Now, I'll probably take a few sips before I get around you. You feel me? But I'm not going to do that. I'm just, I'm a encourager, you know. And sometimes that's the thing is we don't want to empathize. We always talk about, oh, I sympathize, but we need to empathize. He said my wife still drinks. It doesn't bother me. Well, that's your wife. She's used to. You feel me? Me, I'm on a supporting end. Not saying she doesn't support you. She's your number one. I'm just saying as a partner, I'd be like, hey, now we at a game or something, and so if everybody's drinking, and I'm gonna tell them, I'm say, yes, we're gonna have 4 beers and a soda. Just me only gets a soda, water. And so we're gonna drink 4 beers at the game, but he drinks a soda. And as you can see, this is the start. Tonight is the start of the NFL football season. Chiefs playing against the Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs against Baltimore Ravens. And as you can tell, I'm a Raiders fan. A lot of my family members in Kansas City and beyond going to the East are big Chiefs fans. Ever since I've been a kid, I was a Raiders fan. That's all I knew was black and silver. But and I'm gonna share something with y'all about politics and stuff, even in the sports. So what made me have a disdain for the Chiefs organization, and it's not because of the rivalry with Raiders and Chiefs. I love Patrick Mahomes. I do, for real. Um, I do have a big love and respect for Coach Reed. He, to me, he's he's the prime example of a football coach. I've seen him go down and come up. His personal life even attacked with he lost a son, one son to an overdose, and then another son who's out home arrest, but he was messing up himself, with the drug situations. And people got to understand your crack and um, heroin is the only drugs. You can be on barbiturates. You can be on different stuff that has opium in it. That's just a real. And your pharmaceutical companies offer you that. It has different dosage of opium in certain drugs. But I have respect for Andy Reid. Now, why I personally don't like the Kansas City Chiefs organization. I'll just be honest. In it was 95, and I was working with some construction guys, and I had a Raiders starter jacket, and they invited me to the game, and I asked the guys I went with, "Is it cool for me to wear my Raiders gear?" And he said, "Oh yeah," because they all got on red sweaters and everything. So we get to the game, and the section I'm sitting in, it's all red Chiefs fans, and it's some nice seats too. We right at the middle, of the field, at the nice seats, so you can see them when they scoring, touching it down. So the Raiders is up 14-3, and it's going into halftime. And the my brother, you know, I'm the only black too. He's one of my, you want to go by race, one of the white brothers. They are ordering beer. So I'm sitting there with my starter jacket on and my Raiders cap on, and I thought he was touching me because I had a program thing and it kind of fell down on the side of the seat. So when I'm going to reach up for somebody who's touching me, I thought he was telling me, "Hey, the beer's here." And it was these four chief officials standing in front of me. They said, "Sir, this is the Chiefs fan section. Either you remove your jacket or remove yourself and stand back by the bar." And I was like, "What?" And they said, "Sir, you have to take off your jacket." Now, while they're discussing this with me, I'm not knowing that everybody in this section is paying attention. You right? I'm in a stadium, and so I'm like, "Take off my jacket." And they were like, "Yes, or remove yourself from this area because this is Chiefs fan only section." I said, "But I came with him." And my brother's telling him, "Hey, yeah, I got seats. He said, "Sir, you can't be here with the Raiders jacket on." So forget that. I'm not taking my jacket off. So when I stood up to tell him, like, I walk out, everybody in the section started applauding. Next thing I know, I look up, I see myself on the jumbotron. I can just imagine the commentators like, "Oh yeah, it look like they're making one of the Raiders leave." So of course, I put up, and while I'm walking, I put up two middle fingers, my middle finger on each hand as I'm walking out. And while I'm sitting there, and the Raiders won this particular game, but I'm standing there in the back, and they don't understand. They done made me where I would never come back to your stadium again. Now I can't say never, but I know I ain't been back and stuff, and I against their organization. So with that being said, myself is going with Baltimore. Now I'm not a Baltimore fan, but I'm going with Baltimore over the Chiefs. That's right. Started hi. She said, "Hi, handsome, nice outfit. Thank you." I'm wearing my Raiders outfit and stuff. But it doesn't, why, and I brought that point up because it doesn't discourage me from coming to Kansas City, and I have my Raiders gear on, and I go around my family and they have their Chiefs gear on. As everything is Chiefs. Even some of my friend partners I visit have Chiefs and everything. And I applaud it. I don't, I like where we can disagree, but we don't get into fights that I'm a Raiders fan and they are Chiefs fans. We don't, just me said, "That's bullshit." We said where we won, even during the Cleveland Pittsburgh game, nobody cared. That's what I'm saying, man. I can go to any stadiums. I've been to other stadiums and stuff. That bothered me, and that's why ever since then I had a personal vendetta about the Chiefs organizations. I'm not, knocking them and stuff. it amazes me how now the Chiefs fan base just act like they've been there so long. You know, if it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes, it was 50 years before Patrick Mahomes. So I give respect to that man's name. I seen him do some stuff. What made me a big fan of Patrick Mahomes is when I seen him running to the sideline and he tossed himself into the air. He was actually looked like he's flying and threw the ball. And I'm looking at this like, did this man just do this? And it hit Kelsey's hand, but Kelsey dropped because Kelsey was like, I can't believe he did that. I'm like, this dude right here is a serious football player for real. You know, Starlet said, hi, just me. Government agency must be on because he always just put down just me. We know his name, but I'm not going to be the bubble buster. He be just me. But I said all this because I've been noticing a lot of people has arguing with each other. He said, hey, Starlet. Just me said, hey, but I've been seeing where, like, I've been in debates about my team with the Chiefs team and the family members. We be debating and who did this and who did that and who's got this and you know, but we never get into a fight about it. Only thing I could really say that I really got disheartened about anything in football related was with Colin Kaepernick, because whether it was done badly or good, I don't know if that goodly is a word. I can't be like it. The point is that it wasn't violent. When I found out that it was a Green Beret, a retired Green Beret from the military is the one who told him to do this, I had a little bit of twinge in my heart because my white neighbors, some of them, was attacking Colin for his display and you know him taking a knee and call himself protesting. And what was getting to me was that there wasn't aligned with what he was protesting about, but why he protested and been a football player and attacked him. You know, oh, he this and this and he ain't that good. And he did take his team to the Super Bowl. There's some quarterbacks in the NFL who has never took their team to no Super Bowl list, but that's on that part. If you love me, then you would have sympathized that the point he was protesting was that the brutality of police killing blacks at a very alarming rate. We had a lot of blacks that has been killed with thinking that they had a gun. Now, I know you say, look at where he got him. That was the last time he touched the football. Well, one of the things, though, is that sometimes you have to take a sacrifice in what you believe in. You know, it wasn't his fault to be ostracized to where he doesn't play anymore? Or is it the fact that, you know, or is it the fact that because he brought a cause up on something, you know, sometimes you gotta chew a little fat to get to the real meat of things, you know. I didn't see no violence, but the point was, you just asked me where did it get him? Well, Nike felt enough to give him $30 million and you're not playing. Let's start with that. Did he want to not play? Yes, he wanted to play. But you had these corporations who was fearing fan backlash. They worried about the people spending the money. We talking about life. That's another subject I'm gonna bring it on about materials versus life. He says he should have thought about how the team in the NFL were going to react to his choices. Well, sometimes, man, you got to go against the grain. Lord knows where my family would be if others didn't step up and say something or do something contrary to what the norm is. See, and my point why I brought him up is we can agree to disagree, but we ain't not fighting. James Baldwin states that just because we may disagree doesn't mean that I don't love you. Only time I have a problem is when we're disagreeing about me being a human and my right to exist. That's James Baldwin. He said, are you, and you have to deal with the consequences. It's just that simple. Yes, but sometimes it's worth it, isn't it? One of my biggest heroes when I was a kid was Evel Knievel. I had the dummy on a motorcycle where you wind it up and Evel Knievel jump all types of stuff. For real. I was a big fan of his. So this is me as a little kid. So with me being a little kid, I'm one of those people, I lock in on you. You know, I start studying. I used to be one of those ones, write pictures to different ones and hope for an autograph. Hold up, here's one of our co-stars. There, Miss Cynthia Joy Towner.
Whoa, 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 Sugarfoot, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm so beautiful to see you. You're looking beautiful too.
Thank you, thank you. I try to do a little something.
Yeah. We're talking about and for a couple of minutes, I want to just you to put your spill in about how our people are fighting each other, family members about the voting and stuff. And I was giving scenarios. I'm gonna get to them. But you mind holding it down for a second?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Let's talk about it a
Go ahead.
little bit.
Hold it for a second. I gotta step out for a quick second.
Okay. Well, all I definitely know, y'all, is first of all, it's your business who you choose to vote for, and it's crazy that family members are bickering back and forth about it when at the end of the day, everybody have their reasons for doing what it is that they do. So it shouldn't be a judgment of who voting for who and why they voting for them. Like at the end of the day, everybody got their reasons for doing what they do. And just as God don't judge us, we probably shouldn't be judging people for what they choose to do because again, it's their business. It's not our place to worry about what's going on with their vote. As long as they are voting, that in itself is already something great to celebrate. So who they voting for is neither here nor there because again, it's their preference. So I mean, everybody gonna do what they do the way they do it and how they do it because for you to judge what it is or even be mad about it because again, it's their situation. So I mean, I just feel like people need to stay in their lane and only worry about things they can actually control. And you can't control nobody else's vote. So to be mad at somebody for who they choosing to vote for is crazy to me. And again, that just brings it back to people worrying about things that's out of their control and that's not their business. Mind the business that pays you. You know what I'm saying? So everything else is irrelevant.
And Starlet said, "Hi, beautiful."
Hey,
And
honey
then
love.
I'm gonna tell you, just me, he be having me. I lie to you not. I can't. I can't wait to kick it with him because he always, he be bagging since we've been over the seasons, right?
Right.
He said, "Tim Walsh's family supports Trump." He laughing emojis.
He got the dead symbol too.
Starlet said, "That's right." And thank you for that, y'all. I'll just be honest with you. I was sitting up here cringe worthy and everything. I had to get to the restroom real quick, right? And so, and I was like, oh, snappy snap. I was using where things that we don't agree with, how we can have um like innocent debates. You know, I tell them, I said when it came to sports, this is the start. Today is the start of the NFL season. When it came to sports, I was bringing up only thing I ever had any, debates really seriously when it came to NFL was with about Colin Kaepernick, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, just me said, I think you should have to pass a government and history exam to vote. Well, then that'll take away. See, I feel like I've heard people say just me even, well, it's 300, it's like it's 350 million people. My vote's not going to count. I just think that that is your right. They already or have been doing things to make it hard for people to vote already. To me, I think that it's an easy process. If you took the machines out, let's talibate. What is it? Talibate, isn't it? Talibate the votes, and we count them and make sure it's done right. But one of the things I've learned in the history, though, is just because you got popular votes doesn't mean that you win the electoral votes. That's something we need to understand.
Facts.
Electoral votes.
And just think about it though. We had to take tests. The crazy part is, even if we had to take a test, it wouldn't even be valid because think about how many people cheat on a test to pass it. You can cheat on a test to
Yeah,
pass it and still not make the right decision.
yeah. Now just me, I agree with you. You said about requiring people to show IDs. I thought that they do because in California, you gotta show your ID to be able to register to vote, to even vote. I had to show
Yeah.
my ID before they give me my package to go in there and stamp. I had to have a valid ID. I thought that was
Right.
I thought that was common around the US. That's not common. I'm gonna have to look into that. Because I thought that that's how they can tell, you know, who you are with your driver's license.
Right.
I don't know how they do in other states, but in California, you got to have ID to be able to vote. Now, I
I had to
think
have my ID too.
now this I agree that people need to do this for them to become a citizen. What he said. I think you should have to pass a government history exam to vote. I think you need to do that to become a citizen. You know, now that I do, agree with. I have sometimes I know that a lot of people like in our country because they speak Spanish, but my kids had a problem with trying to want to learn Spanish. They didn't want to learn it, and I've learned it. I had to learn it because throughout the years, tu sabes muy poquito español. But just me said, if we didn't have an electoral college, California, New York would elect every single election. Would elect every single election. Both are blue states. That's why Demon want to get rid of the electoral college. I don't know who Demon is, but me myself believe that it should be popular vote. That's what I believe. That it should be popular vote. Um, a lot of people live in California, a lot of people live in New York, but there's more people live in Texas. Texas is the biggest state in the United States. And I just think that if electorals was taken out, I think that popular votes would then, would win, just General Assembly. He said there are people in this country that vote that have no clue where the Capitol is or where the White House is located. Well, then that's a shame. That person should not be voting if you don't know where the Capitol is. Just
Right.
making sure I thought everybody knows that it's in Washington, D.C. And it's not even part of a state. It is a rural area of New Jersey, Maryland, I meant. is a rural area of Maryland. I think it's its own township, if I'm not mistaken. And so now I met some people who lived across the street from the White House, and they was from the project. And I said, man, how hard is it to come out the projects to look at at the White House that's running the United States? So let me ask you a question, um, Cynthia. I've been wanting to ask this. I was going to ask this of people. This was the other part I want to bring up. And you live in Colorado Springs, right?
Yep.
You've been there for like more than a year now.
Yeah, I've been here for 19 years.
Oh, you've been in Colorado Springs for 19 years.
Yep.
Okay. Who's your city councilman?
I don't know.
Yeah, and don't be, don't feel offended because I ask this a lot and I get the same response.
I'm not.
Who's your mayor?
Huh?
Who's your mayor?
I done forgot his name, real talk.
But you know who he is, right?
Yeah.
Who's your state senator?
Don't make me lie.
Okay, one more question. Who's your governor?
You getting to a point, I got you. But I'm also not a political person. I don't even do politics. But yeah,
what
I don't
amazes
know them
me,
people. I know who they are if I see, hear them and see them, but I
you're
don't just know
not
their name to be like, oh, it's this person's name.
okay. Now, wait a minute. Just me said they don't know how many congressmen are in the House of Representatives or how many senators in the Senate and why we have those numbers. You see, this is educational. Just me because I don't know how many in the House of Representatives. I thought it was 112, but I may be wrong. And so if I may not even be close. I thought that it was 244 in the as senators. But Cynthia, I'm gonna tell you something, and it's never. I want anybody who else is looking at this. This is a common thing with us. We know the presidents. We know more of the presidents than we know who's looking out, who we can look at right outside our window.
Yep.
The city councilman is driving right by you and at the grocery store. You feel me? These are the people we have to hold accountable for, and so much focusing on the president of the U.S.
Right. That's facts.
And I'm not wrong, am I, to state how are we going to know the president but don't know our city councilman or our mayor or the city alderman? And so there's a pothole in your street and you want to know how this is going to get fixed. Are they going to be fixing these streets? Well, this deals with the city aldermen to the councilman to the mayor. They can allocate funds to the city, to the crews to fix this. So it seems like we focus. Okay, there it is. You see, the House has 435 members. The Senate has 100. I knew I was close in the numbers, but I just had it switched. Which he's right, and everybody, please remember that these are facts. Just me knows we don't deal with what we call what is it, theories. We don't deal with theories. Theories is an unproven fact. What he just showed right here is a fact. A lot of people don't understand. Just like what you just experienced watching Cynthia Joy, when I was asking who's a city council person and everything, we laughing, but I have been doing this to a lot of different ones, and it's amazing that basically 98 to 99% of the people I've been asking don't know who their city alderman is, city council, don't know the mayor's name, don't know the state senator, do know the governor. Some of them did know the governor, but knew of the presidents more than they did the people who they can see right outside their window. You can't change the world until you fix up your own household. You got to make sure your bed is made, the dogs are fed. Have they been out? There's certain things you do. Is your neighborhood clean? Is there trash in your yard? Is there trash around? Make sure your area is clean. Make sure your neighborhood is clean. Then you start looking at other parts of the city. Then you work with your city, then the state, so on and so on. I can't stand when somebody talking about I'm trying to change the world. Into what? Change it into what? There, when I was a kid, they used to have a Coca-Cola commercial. I wish. I like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand. That ain't happened yet. But I implore anybody, do not debate with someone, especially someone you've been knowing, your family, your friends, co-workers and stuff. You've been knowing them, and you don't know this guy that you're arguing with them about. Yeah, a lot of people can defend former President Donald Trump. They can defend Vice President Kamala Harris, but you don't know them personally. You know them just as well as anybody else who's watching the broadcast and everything. Everybody wants to look innocent on the television. Not everybody wants to be accountable for their actions if it's negative or against the scenes. He's just me said, which is funny because the electoral college is directly linked to the number of representatives in the House. That's why you need 270 to win. Yes, and I'm saying that. And it makes us feel like if the representatives win, because you need that top score over that amount, which is 435, 270, which is the majority portion of the 435. I can see that, But we should never debate, and I'm going to keep stating this. Who you vote for is your own personal right. You can sit back and listen to everybody talk this and that and that and this, but doesn't mean that you have to dislike, I've been seeing family members arguing. Wives scared to speak up to their husbands. I'm like, what is this? Ain't Leave It to Beaver days. Barbara Billingsley got to be in there making cookies and be quiet while Ward is watching sports and talking stuff to the neighbor and stuff, man. Nobody, I'm not into that. I'm into anybody who can use their brain. Now, people wondering who I'm going to vote for. I really don't know yet. I'm a free American. I'm swayed. I got family members and friends who are solid Democrats. They get the Democratic package sent to them, and they like robots. They vote anything that the Democrats tell them. Then on the other hand, I got family members and friends who are Republicans, and they get that Republican ballot, and they tell them who to vote for, and vote for this person and that person and that person. Me, I'm a free American. And I have that right to decide who I'm going to vote for. When I go in that ballot, I may say I'm going to vote for this person. Then something comes up. I'll be like, nah. So when my mind, though, is going to be made up when I go into that ballot booth. And it's just me as a U.S. citizen representing my little fragment of section of the United States. I'm one, only me. But when I go vote, I feel like the United States is needing me because I have that right. Nobody should be afraid to debate things. My wife and I have spirited debates all the time. She's pro-choice and I'm pro-life with compassion. Well, just me, I'm going to just be honest with you. Me, I constantly say this. I be thinking that that's an argument that men need to stay out of. It's kind of like one-sided because I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a partner of mine, and his wife wanted him to get a vasectomy, and I was like, "Ooh," me and the other homies, and he was like, "Well, she wants me to, or I'm not going to be able to get none." One of the homies said, "That's why you need to get you a side chick." But he was talking with us because she left him this ultimatum: either you get a vasectomy or you ain't no more. And she has allergic reaction to condoms and stuff, right? And they married, so she gave him an ultimatum. And being around me and the other guys, we made it hard for him because I'm like, yeah, you already handed over your balls to him. Now you got to cut them off too. And I said this because we as men don't want no one to tell us how to do with our bodies. He said it takes two to make a baby. Two people should have to make the choice to keep it or not. Now, look, what I'm saying is you said you were married. And that's something you and your wife talk about. But I'm pretty sure, though, just me, and Lord forbid this, but somebody, misuse your wife or something and impregnate her. I don't think you're going to want her to have that child. That's one scenario. Second scenario, I've seen where the embryo, the baby, even though it's 1-2 months, is caught up and it hasn't came into the right area where that if it doesn't be removed, the woman can die. Now, you and I and other men don't know these circumstances, but I have met guys who said that they had, I forget something that they had where they got something like whatever in their ball sacks, and they had to piss it out as like some little seed or whatever. I don't know what it is. What they said is hard in the mother. Somebody help me out with that. If this woman is pregnant with a baby and the baby is stuck, this is medical situations. If the baby is stuck, like growing in the placenta, whatever the baby supposed to be in, it can cause death to that mother. Some of these states went so far that they don't want the women even to go through that. Now, he said that's where the compassion comes in. It accounts for rape, incest, brutality of the baby, and safety of the mother. That's what they're saying. Ain't no happy wife going to say, I want an abortion. That's not being said. The women that you just named in these situations don't have that choice. And they're telling them to do it. See, this is when I feel like there's wise women. I don't want us to ever think that especially men, we sometimes don't understand. We're a little ego sometimes that we feel like they ain't wise enough to make these decisions. He said, I'm not for abortions being a type of birth control. Now, I'm not that way neither. Now, you sit out there kicking it and stuff like that, and and they got condoms, they got birth control pills and that. Yes, I'm against that, just me. Because God gives life, and there's no mistake with God. So that is a good statement. Ma'am, how did you get pregnant? Was you raped? somebody in your family mess with you. Oh, none of these. Um, you having problems with a pregnancy, or you don't have that. Oh, this was just you kicking it one night. I'm sorry, man. We don't offer that service to you. You're gonna be responsible next time. that's that's what. Now, but let the women figure that out. It's just something with me seeing a bunch of men arguing with women about their body. I just think that, you know, like I'm myself started to say, wow, this is a touchy subject. Yep. Just me said you got 9 months to grow up and figure it out. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm with you on that. Now, but we don't want to be where we dictating to another person's body. Yes, I believe that if they go to the abortion clinic and they saying, well, were you raped? Check mark, no. Was somebody in your family members messing with you and stuff? No. Are you in problem of having a baby? Is the baby in danger of dying if you keep him? Oh no. What about yourself? Is it caught up? You're not dying neither. You're not dying. No. Oh man, we can't work with you. Seems like you was kicking it one night and you should have used protection. We ain't going to count. We're not going to count for you having a drunk and drug infested good time and you woke up, ma'am. You'll learn next time. I can understand that, but let them women decide this. I've seen abortion clinics where the woman had to, it hurt her feelings, but they told her she had to get an abortion. And then they come out them doors, you got John, Reverend Henry, and his congregation and stuff. Because I picked up to give people a ride. And I said, hey, look here, you don't even know the circumstances. Just because you see that door open, that ain't right for you to act like you so righteous. Let's keep it 100. Now, if I'm politically incorrect, okay, because one thing I've learned is that you can't please everybody all the time. You can't even please some of the people some of the times. This is a subject that goes on and on. And then you got these rubbernecking Supreme Court justices. I thought the Supreme Court, you're supposed to be blind and stuff. It seems like somebody's peekabooing. Wow, who, if you do a check mark, who are we men to argue what a woman's position is? Let them women come together and correct the laws. Us men need to step back off of some things. You ever be talking to somebody about sports to find out that they really don't like sports? Now everything you've been saying seemed like a waste of time because they wasn't really they really don't understand where you're coming from with it. That's like telling women, you know, I was gonna get to this. I'm one of them guys that I'm about cleanliness and respect, right? I've had girlfriends where their monthly started, and I didn't mess with them. I didn't mess with them. Matter of fact, they talking about they own the thing for 3 to 5 days. And then 2 days, I gave them their week and a half if I have to. I've seen other guys who say, no, I got to get it. Now, what we're going to do, tell women you can't have a monthly, which is why it's kicked down to the states to decide. The federal government shouldn't have a say in abortions. That's my point. Why are you holding the presidencies to talk upon that? So I'm telling you, we got to use wisdom. I would let all the women delegations come with, let the women handle that. Us men, that's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the same-sex bathrooms. I go to the airport, I look purposely for just men. I don't like the bathrooms where everybody can go in there. It makes me feel awkward and stuff. You know, not saying that I'm homophobic. It's just that it just seems like, we're not deciding. Now, I had to use it real bad. I was at the MCI airport. I had to use it real bad. And the first bathroom close was anybody can walk in. And I seen two ladies walk in, and I said, nah, I need to go to the men's bathroom because I may be standing there and using it, and next thing you know, a poop may come out or something like that. I don't know. He said when the feds kicks it down to the station, should withdraw its funding also. See, I think, and what you're saying, and I agree, but I think I really do think that us men is spending too much time where on a subject that I think that the women are sharp enough and wise enough to be able to come together as a delegation and they decide. There's things that go on with women's bodies that's opposite of what men go through. And the last thing I want is someone to tell me how many earrings I can have in my ear, how many tattoos that I can have on my body. I mean, for real. I don't want no one to have that control over me or have to be on the Senate. It's bad enough at being a Black American. I can't walk into some places with my hoodie on without having that look. Look at me. I got a wave rag on, Raiders cap. Think I'm going to be able to just walk into some of these top stores without being looked at? I've had people say, well, if you dress more appropriate, what's appropriate? To what you feel? A button-up shirt with a tie and a leisure jacket? That's not comfortable to me. I'm a business owner with a degree and got stuff going on. Dress the way I like to dress. I don't want no one to dictate to me how I should be looking to present myself. When I go in there to vote, I'm not going to wear no Armani suit. I might go in there with a jeans and a t-shirt. You know why? Because that's my right as an American citizen. I don't know if my vote's going to count. It's going to count for me though, because for every 4 years, well, the presidential, because I vote in between that because of city councils and stuff like that. But every 4 years, with the whole world and these other people in other countries who don't get the vote, they can't even vote for it. They have a dictator. Here, we can say, I made a voice for my country. I'm going to use my vote. He said, Jasmine said, last time I voted, I wore shorts and a t-shirt. Yes, because I'm an American citizen. They can't take that from me. So when I go on that ballot, I'm not worried about somebody trying to coerce me or force me to vote a certain way. I'm not voting because you said this person acts like this and this person is that way and that. I'm going with what's going to help me, my family, my neighborhood, my country. Like I said Tuesday, and I want everyone to think about, I never really thought about these words from the former president JFK, rest in peace, when he said, ask not what your country can do for you. You ask what you can do for your country. Get up off of your butt. Try to have something. Try to start a little company. You might not compare to this person and this, but you got to start somewhere. I myself have been getting tired of complaining and talking with people who's complaining about the big corporations and they doing that. Let's start our own. We don't have to wait. Who told us that we had to wait? We don't have to complain. We live in one of the most wealthiest countries. It's for us to take advantage of it. Them candidates are saying stuff like a car salesman is going to do. Say anything you want to hear. You don't know what the first day you're going to do in the office. They talk that game. I know if I was elected president and they said, well, Mr. Walters, Mr. Roy Anthony, what's the first thing you want to do when you get in the presidency? Man, I'm about to lay out on that Oval Office bed and make angel wings, and I'm gonna go and visit all the staff and say, hey, I'm the president now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be working on no policy the first day I'm in there. I tell them, man, I just got in the office. How you gonna ask me to let me get in the office first, bro? You know what I'm saying? You know, I gotta figure out which one of these planes is the one I'm riding. This is the car I'll be in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's check out some stuff. I ain't doing no work the very first day in the office. I gotta call some of the homies and say, guess where I'm at? That's right, I'm in the Oval Office, bro. I'm your president. Show respect. We gotta be real. Worried about the presidency, I'm worried about salvation. If you was to vote for anything, a personal vote is to vote for God in your life. He ain't told us to worry, but we vote because that's your given right. Do not vote because you feel like it's not going to count. You're an American citizen. Go down there and vote. It's fun because it's your privilege. I don't go with my mother. I never go to the voting booth with nobody in the cars with me. I always pop up on my own. I don't want nothing. Because when I leave from there, only thing they need to know that I vote is that little sticker. I voted. And I put it on my chest, and y'all wear it well. That's right, because I voted. Then I wait around like everybody else to see the outcome. I don't tear up my vote ballot like it's some betting thing at the the racetrack. Oh man, my candidate didn't win. I'm not like that. I'm happy because I voted. Then I'm like, okay, it's time to start. Keep working. Nothing's going to change me from the hustle mindset of where I am now. No matter who's your president, who's your mayor, who's your governor, it ain't going to stop me, because if God is for you, who can be against you? I'm a vote. I'm going to ask God to protect them. Just like I don't know if I don't, you know, I didn't vote for former President Donald Trump last time or prior to that, but I definitely didn't want him to see him hurt. No matter how, whatever foolishness any of them say, I don't want to see them hurt. I just want them to be able to take their defeat like a man or woman, 10 toes down. Be strong about it. If Big Hank was here, he's out of town. If Big Hank was here, he'd be saying, God is not to be mocked. What a man reapeth, that's what he sows. Meaning, if you sow hate, you're going to reap hate. Don't cry about it when you've been sowing discord and anguishment and disruption and all this in other people's lives. Everything from positive. Guess what? When your harvest comes up, why my stuff look like this? Because that's what you sowed. You reap what you sow. If you sow love and harmony and positivity, it's going to get back. I don't care how wicked the world is. There's always reasons to smile. Because if I love you, but that's just a man love. God loves you way more than me. He can destroy your body and soul. And if you gave you this chance to see this day, then you got it going on. I'm proud of Just Me. He's been 24 days. I applaud that big time and stuff. For real, it's not an easy accomplishment and stuff, especially when it's something you've been doing for over 9-10 years. Every day, then decide I'm gonna do something different. That ain't nothing but God and stuff. Got love for y'all. I'm Roy Anthony. God bless everybody. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. God's will. See you Tuesday. I'm out of here. Peace.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody
Anthony
out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey,
Tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy